Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like the Russians took the first step, retaliatory steps against Ukraine, unfortunately, after the overnight drone attack on Kremlin, trying to assassinate Vladimir Putin, an attempt to assassinate him, according to the Russians. What we know is that drones indeed attacked the Kremlin, but we don't know whose drones, who sent them, who organized, who planned, who all that. The fact is there were drones going over there. Could be the Russians, could be the Americans, could be the Ukrainians, could be others. We don't know yet. The Russians already came out and said, Dmitry Peskov, the spokesman of Kremlin, the presidency, he came and said that it was the Americans who orchestrated this. I made a video a minute ago on that, and the ramifications for coming from that kind of statement are very grave, very terrible. So we have here the first reaction, which is the first action taken against Ukraine. There were calls to kill Zelensky, there were calls to flatten Kiev, there were calls to do this and that. Anyway, this is the first one, which is according to New Voice of Ukraine and Reuters. I'm use both these articles, media outlets, not the Russians. They say this is the largest attack on Ukraine this year. But this is how big it was. I skimmed through it, and they gave us some numbers, but obviously the Ukrainians destroyed almost everything in the air, according to the Ukrainians, but not with Reuters. But we have to, figure out what's what, discard garbage and propaganda and see what actually happened. So I'm going to start with the New Voice of Ukraine here, which is from today, May 4th, 2023. Russia launches largest attack on Ukraine this year, but no significant damage. And that's good news for you, I guess. Russia launched its largest attack on Ukraine this year in the early hours on May 4th, resulting in loud explosions being heard in Kiev and other cities. But no significant damage, Ukraine military has reported. No significant damage, but then you're going to find out they have a 2 weeks mourning grace period, and then they have this, and then they show you buildings, but no significant damage. I heard this so many times. The attack involved drones and missiles and lasted for over 3 hours. Now they tell us here that they destroyed a school, a dormitory, and so on. These drones bore, and I'm quoting, sacred inscriptions, and I'm quoting reading for Moscow and for Kremlin, Natalia Humenyuk, spokesperson for the Ukraine Military South Operational Command, reported. So supposedly these drones and these missiles had on these missiles, they were down, but they could read the inscriptions for Moscow, for the Kremlin. Overall, Ukraine's air defenses destroyed 18 out of 24 kamikaze drones launched by Russia, along with a reconnaissance drone. The drones were launched from the North Russia Bryansk Oblast and from the southeastern coast of the Azov Sea. Ukraine's air defenses successfully shot down 12 of 15 drones launched towards Odessa. It says here that at 6:20 a.m., the Joint Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported there had been a large attack on Kiev with missiles and Iranian drones. Serhiy Popko, head of the Kiev City-State Administration, confirmed that the Russians had launched a large airstrike on the capital using Shahid flying bomb drones and possible ballistic missiles. You know what's interesting, my friends? And I made a video on this. I haven't heard anything about Klitschko, the boxer, the heavyweight champion that I used to like, who's the mayor of Kiev. Where is he? Remember, it was 8 or 9 months in the war, maybe 8 months in the war, that Klitschko was always showing in that, green, shirt, and he was always a sweater, and he was always showing on, dictating. And where is he? What happened to Klitschko? I made a video like that. You might want to watch it if you didn't. Because really, he just disappeared. Is he still alive? That's the first question. And then if he's still alive, why is he put on this? Because actually it's on Kiev. Every time the Russians would attack Kiev, you would see Klitschko in the streets, organizing, making statements and all that. Nothing. When was the last time you saw Klitschko? I haven't seen him. And I'm reading news every day, a few times a day. So from Ukrainska Pravda, Ukrinform, New Voice of Ukraine, Kiev Independent, those are 4 Ukrainian media outlets. Nothing in about, I don't know, 6 months, 4 months. Something got wrong with that guy. I think I think he's still alive. I hope he's still alive. Or I think he got too popular. And that as a competition for the guy that's promoted by other interests. Who knows? Maybe he's not even alive. I don't know. Or maybe they already, accused him of cooperating with the Russians or something. And we don't know yet because that would enrage the Ukrainians. All right. Why? Because they love that guy more than the Ukrainian Zhmyhal and what's his name? Zelensky. And now we have, see who's talking here? Popko. Serhiy Popko talks, head of the Kiev state administration. Where is Klitschko? According to Popko, all enemy missiles and UAVs in Kiev's airspace had been destroyed by defense forces. All were destroyed. Oh, since they got those Patriots, see, buy them. Yeah, it's just a live commercial we are witnessing here. And there were no civilian casualties. Remember this, because we're going to hear there were some tomorrow or later in the day. Were no civilian casualties or significant damage to residential buildings or infrastructure. Debris from a UAV was found in a residential area. Elsewhere, Ukrainian public broadcaster Suspline reported several explosions in Zaporozhye, and Kiev Oblast military administration reported threat of enemy shelling. Overall, the attacks caused some destruction, but Ukraine's air defense forces successfully neutralized the vast majority of drones and missiles launched by Russia, preventing significant casualties and damage to infrastructure in Ukraine, military said. So, first, nothing happened in Kiev. All right, they destroyed all of them, they said here. Remember, all of any enemies were killed, destroyed in Kiev's airspace, so nothing over there. Good news for the Ukrainians. And then a few here and nothing, but you see, preventing significant casualties. Now let's go to the other truth tellers. And this is from Reuters. Explosions heard in Kiev, other Ukrainian cities, authorities say. By Reuters yesterday at 9:00 p.m., whatever. Explosions were heard in the Ukrainian city Kiev and other cities in the early hours of Thursday morning, officials and media outlets said, with some local authorities reported that anti-aircraft defenses were at work. So Russia has regularly bombarded Ukraine, yes, after the Kerch Bridge, and let's move on. And I'm quoting, air defenses are working in the Kiev region, the regional military administration said on Telegram. Reuters eyewitness in the city said that there had been at least one loud blast. Where's Klitschko again? Ukrainian broadcaster, public broadcaster, Suspline, okay, the same, Zaporozhye and whatever they did here. Local media also reported blast at the Black Sea port of Odessa. We covered that thing, and that's it. So the Russians attacked. We don't know how many missiles, because they have to put together the story. That's how it goes, and then they come with a narrative, and that's it. I haven't heard anything about the mayor of Kiev. Again, I'm gonna point this out every time I'm gonna cover Kiev, because I'm not concerned, but it's at least strange, weird, odd. This is it, my friends. This was nothing. They say it was the major thing. I don't think it was anything that more to see. And what I think we're gonna see is it's gonna be this was nothing, I think, from what the Russians are getting ready to do. I have an article that I covered, or the one that I read, I can remember one of them, and Peskov said the spokesperson, again, I catch myself being a weasel, you see? Through repetition and reading the same word over and over, I got myself now to use spokesperson instead of clearly saying spokesman or spokeswoman. But that's how these guys train you, by repetition. And you read this thing on average 9 times consciously, and that gets in your subconscious, in your memory. That's how it is. Scientifically proven, not me. Experiments done. Anyway, so Peskov said, the spokesman, that a variety of responses are considered at this time regarding the drones attack on the Kremlin. So we'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.